Hey, welcome back to my channel. And today's video, I wanted to just focus on reflecting back over the past 10 years. Now that I'm in my 30s, I often wonder, think about what advice could I have given myself, 10 years ago when I was in my 20s, that I didn't know then that I know now through, trials and errors and just my journey. So I just want to share with you guys 7 things that I wish I knew in my 20s that I now know in my 30s. The first advice I would give is to do what makes you happy. Do things that bring joy into your life. Don't do things for your family to make them happy. Don't do things for your friends to make them happy, or your boyfriend or girlfriend. Do things that make you happy. And the reason why I say this is because you can live your life for so long doing things just because you want to make others happy, but really you're not making yourself happy. Is what you're doing making you happy, or are you just doing it just to make other people happy? I was the same way in my 20s. I did things to keep my friends happy. I was always a yes person. You could never ask me to do something, and I would always say yes. Although I tend to say yes now in my 30s, but I'm not as open to say yes to do things, just to make someone else happy. At the end of the day, I have to be happy. And my goal in life is to live my happiest life, not live my life to make someone else happy while I'm still miserable on the inside. The second advice I can give you is have a financial plan. I don't ever recall learning in high school anything about financial planning. So in my 20s, I was just like not saving money. I was working jobs, not saving money, not building my credit. I had credit cards, but I was maxing them out. And that really affects you when you're, getting ready to buy a house. So when I was stationed in Japan, I was working on my credit. I paid off everything. Bills like from a long time ago that should have never been, because I really wasn't thinking about my future. I was just thinking about the now. And when you're thinking about the now, like, you don't think about the possibilities that can happen. Maybe one day you want to buy a house or buy a car or a boat, or take out a personal loan for A, B, C, and D, and you're not going to have the money, you're not going to have the credit. So definitely, get it in your brain now that money will always come and go, but your credit is not something you can just, pay off a bill overnight. Your credit score gets to, 850 or over 700. My next advice I would give to my younger self from 10 years ago is get rid of the toxic people in your life. Are they serving you any purpose? Why are you keeping them around for? Toxic people bring negativity into your circle. There are many times where I've kept people around just because, I felt like I never know when would I need them. And I feel like when I did need those people, they were never there the way I was there for them, bending over backwards, being a yes person. So getting rid of those, whether it's family, friends, if they're not serving a purpose in your life, and I'm not talking about giving you money or doing things for you. I'm talking about being there, supporting you, rooting you on. If you have questions, you can come to them and ask them about anything or talk to them about anything. If they're not there and they're not giving you the same, energy back, then they don't need to be a part of your life. There's millions of other people out there that's going to come along in your life that's going to serve you purpose and have a purpose in your life versus these toxic people. Along with getting rid of these toxic people, you also need to learn to forgive people. I know there's a lot of things that people have done to me. For example, I was dating a guy and he was like, had a whole other girlfriend, A, B, C, and D on the side. And although I was hurt, I learned to forgive him. I don't want to hold on to that hate and that negative energy because someone did me wrong. It's actually their loss, at the end of the day. And yes, I forgive you, but will I ever trust you again? No. Will I ever, reach out to you for anything? No. You know, it's just like one of those things. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's not going to be something where you're going to wake up and say, oh man, I 100% forgive him or her and I'm moving on with my life. It does take time, but just holding on to that burden of, you know, you not forgiving someone, you know, that weighs down on you, you know. So this next advice, I wish this was something that I was taught younger, in my younger age, maybe like my teen years, you know, 17, 18, 19. Relationships with men, it's like one of those things society, you know, wants you to think that you have to have a boyfriend, and after you have a boyfriend, you're going to get engaged, you're going to get married, and it's just one of those things where you don't have to have a boyfriend to make you happy. You know, I've had several boyfriends over the years, or I dated several people over the years. And I always felt that I had to do a lot of things for them to get them to want to stay in a relationship with me or to look at me a certain way, you know, whether it was sleeping with them or going over and above and beyond. You know, it's not that not that I felt that, you know, I needed to do these things. I just felt that I just did not want to be alone. I didn't want to have that alone feeling, knowing that I'm in my 20s and everyone else is dating, they have their boyfriends, and, you know, Heather's over here with, like, nobody, and the people that I meet are, like, people that are not really good for me, and I just wanted to have someone there. So I was just doing the most, and now that I'm older, I realize, you know, a man is going to stay if he wants to stay. You know, you could be making car payments, you could be doing, like, crazy stuff, and if he doesn't want you, then he's not going to stay. You know, as simple as that. And that's one thing that I didn't learn. I wasn't taught, you know, in my younger years. Alright, the next advice that I would give myself would be stop being sorry for the decisions that you make. You know, you are making these decisions based off your current situation, your life, your views, your outlook, and having other people's input in life decisions that you make is really, I feel that it can persuade you to do something that you were not going to do originally. Yes, it's good to have input and opinions from other people, but at the end of the day, you have to do what's best for you. So don't be sorry if you decided to go to a college in Tennessee versus a college in New York. You know, your decisions, what you wanted to do. If you wanted to go to cosmetology school versus going straight to college, don't be sorry for it. It's what you are doing to make yourself happy and live the life that you want to live. The last two advices that I would tell myself is, the first one would be love yourself. Learn how to love yourself. You cannot love anyone else unless you love yourself. And that means getting to know yourself, getting to know the things that you like, what you don't like, your ins and outs, embracing your beauty, you know, just loving yourself. And I didn't have that in my 20s. You know, I never felt loved. I didn't love myself because I was doing, like, all, you know, crazy things, in hopes that somebody would love me. And it just did not work out the way that I thought it would because I just didn't know. No one ever showed me or told me, you know, hey, first thing you need to do is love yourself. You know, get to know yourself. Know the real you, the authentic Heather, and not the Heather that, you know, everyone else sees. You know, give yourself a mental health check. You know, we're always classified as a strong black woman, and that really puts, like, I feel like that weighs down on a lot of women, especially black women, because we feel like we're strong, you know, nothing can bother us, we're invincible, we have all these struggles that we go through, we have all these, you know, obstacles that we have to jump over. At the end of the day, we're winning, but we don't ever want to address these other issues that are weighing us down, that are setting us back, because I feel like depression is something that gets swept under the rug in the black community. I feel like if you have depression, it's not like, hey, let's try and figure this out. Let's see what we can do about it. What can we do, you know, to help you get through this? It's kind of like, oh, you'll be okay, you know, keep pressing forward. And it's not going to be okay. You know, you need someone that you can talk to, whether it's a close friend or you seek therapy. Like, you need to address these issues so the depression is not weighing down on you. I've been there. I spent a lot of my years in my 20s being depressed over, you know, men, relationships, my current financial situation, you know, things that are going on with my daughter. You know, you just have to stop bottling it up. You can still be that strong black woman and still seek therapy and still win at the end of the day. I think it first starts with you, you know, addressing your pain and addressing what's hurting and addressing what's bothering you and addressing where all this is stemming from. Where is it coming from? You can still have your peace and joy and still address your issues, still, you know, be strong black woman. And at the end of the day, once you address it, you know, life gets so much better. You know, I spent lots of times bottling up feelings, and there would be days I would sit there and cry because I just had like a stack of issues that I just never addressed. You know, as soon as the issue comes in, I would fold it up, I would put it on my chest, and it'll stay there. You know, and now in my 30s, I'm like, okay, I know I have an issue, I have a problem. What can I do to make this situation better? What can I do so I don't feel the way I feel all the time? You know, and it helps. You know, even if you address one small issue at a time, you know, it does make a difference. If you can give yourself one word of advice from a younger you, what would it be? Post in the comments below. I will catch you guys on my next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.